It's more about the values which is actually important for someone from Generation Y. So there is actually another complete level of communication, and this is what Generation Y wants. Welcome to another episode of Workplace Best Practices. Today I want to talk about how to lead Generation Y. Now, who is Generation Y? Generation Y are those who are born between 1980 and the late 90s. That means that in 2025, 75% of those who are working in companies are actually Generation Y. That means that the companies, latest in 5 years, needs to adapt completely at the preferences and the demands of those who were born in this generation, because otherwise they will leave the company. So now I'm going to talk a little bit what actually are the characteristics of Generation Y. And you have to understand, like everything in life, I'm talking here about an average. If I would compare like cultures, and if I would compare like persons from Germany and persons from Indonesia, I could say that someone from Germany mostly will plan like more long term than compared with someone from Indonesia. That does not mean that everyone who is a German will plan long time and everyone who is an Indonesian will not plan long time. But then on average, this is true. And this is the same here, what I'm going to explain. Now, one of the most important things is the priority why someone is working. In the past, before the Generation Y, one of the priorities was actually finance and was security. But this is not the case anymore for a Generation Y. On top of the list is actually about self-development, and it's also about getting trusted and also respected. It's more about the values which is actually important for someone from Generation Y. And I come to that a little bit later. Now, it all starts with the why. And a Generation Y wants to know exactly why things are happening in the company. They want to get involved, they want to have the feeling with what are the values of the company to make sure that they are associated with it. So that means that they expect from a leader that the leader is on the first place honest, that the leader involve those employees, that they give also the possibility to also speak up and to give a feedback. And also what they expect is actually on a hierarchy that there is much less hierarchy. So that means that companies in the future need to change how they did, and that they don't allow anymore having like 5-6 steps above and then go to the next division and then going down to making decisions. No, it should be much more one and the other, because people of Generation Y don't like actually this whole hierarchy structure. And one of the examples is like Elon Musk. If you see how he does management within his companies, and Tesla, like in the automotive, this is something what he implemented. That it's allowed that someone from one department directly goes to someone else from another department and even can make decisions without involvement of the management if it makes sense and if it has an increase in the productivity. So there is actually another complete level of communication, and this is what Generation Y wants. Because if you have look how they were actually born and how they were growing up, they were completely involved in the whole digital age. That means that they are used to have social network. They are used to use social media. They are used to communicate much more with each other on different platforms. And this is also a difference between the Generation Y and the generations before. That means that the balance and the interaction between work and private life is actually mixed up. That means that they also use Facebook, they also use different social medias during the working time to actually have an interaction and to also communicate with each other. Now, one of the other things that someone wants from Generation Y is actually feedback. And feedback not once a year, but on a regular basis, because Generation Y wants to develop themselves. They have learned to always learn through YouTube, through other media, and this is something that they really want to do, and in the company they also are willing to do. That means that they want to have a mentor. They want to have actually involved completely in the strategy so that they also can be part of it to implement, not only implement the strategy, but also to define this strategy. So that's why they need to be completely involved in the structure. They mostly also have another way of self-confidence. Their self-confidence is higher as the generations before. And this is also something that to need to be in account. The environment as is has to be on a very joyful environment. That means that in the working place, they don't see the colleagues just as a colleague, but it's also like building up some networking and some friend networking within the working place. That means it also has to be time to have some fun moments, maybe to play some table soccer in the office, to have some team events, to have some after parties. This is something which is very important. And this is also mixed with the flexibility that they want to have. It's not like it is necessarily to work 9 to 5 and then it's a private time. No, they want to arrange their time like they want. In the morning, if they want to go to the gym first, they go to the gym first and then they work. In the afternoon, if they want to have like a break, they have a break. And then in the evening, they have no issues to working again till late in the evening. So it's about having this whole flexibility about timing and of course also where they want to work. Not in the completely office, but also from home or even on other locations, even at the beach with a laptop, wherever, because it will help them, of course, with their actually intuition and with the creativity to build something more. So this is actually in a nutshell what the differences are. It's not about having this hierarchy anymore. It's not about having a lot of structures, a lot of different rules that they want to do. No, they want to have their freedom. They want to have the space to actually develop themselves, to learn also. They expect from the company that the company is helping them, that they can evolve, that they can to be more empowered. And this is something that they want to do. And they also know much more what they want to achieve. So they made much more time to actually have a planning and to know exactly in 5 years and 10 years, this is my goal. And they are willing to do everything to actually achieve this goal. This is the difference again between some other generations. So to summarize it or to actually finalize, I read a poll from Brigette Hyacinth and she had actually almost 25k of persons who joined this poll. And the question was very easy. It was in 2022, what is the main priority in professional work? And 65% who was joining this poll on LinkedIn said that the most important thing in 2022 is the well-being and it's the mental health. And only 20% say it's very important to have a salary increase, and only 15% said I want to have a new role. So as you can see, at the moment it is very important that you actually like what you're doing and that you feel also comfortable within your working place and that you are willing to develop yourself without someone giving you the whole time some rules. That's it in a nutshell for how to lead Generation Y. If you have some additional information, like always, leave a comment. In a future episode, I will talk, of course, also about Generation Z, which now are gonna start to have their first jobs. Until then, see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.